Before I finish, I want to say a word about rural areas and farming. Labour hasn't always been associated closely with the farming community, but the backbone of the Labour Party in the early decades of the state was to be found in rural areas among farm workers. In fact, the Labour Party has a fine agriculture and rural development policy developed by Dr. Mary Upton. I am from a farming background. I was born, bred and reared on a dairy farm in County Limerick. I see my brothers and sisters here. They know that I wasn't too fond of it. There was a neighbour of mine, she said, "James, you better mind the brains because you don't mean to up to your hands." But I believe agriculture is at the heart of rural communities and is essential to Irish economic life. Farmers have a primary role in food production and maintaining the environment. As we rely on more and more imported food, we are putting at risk our very capacity to feed ourselves. It is in all our interests that the skills and capacity of the farming community to produce safe, quality food is supported generously. That is in all our interests. As a rural dweller, I want to live as part of a vibrant community. This will happen if there is genuine regional development with the provision of decent job opportunities, decent infrastructure such as roads, schools, broadband and community facilities. You know, there's a real suspicion, and I've met it talking to people among rural communities, that the state of our roads and the recent pullback on broadband signify a sneaking policy to force people out of rural areas. This must and will be resisted. We have a right to live where we have chosen to live and where we call home. I must say about the pullback on broadband, it has been an enormous struggle. I have had a group together for the past 2 years. Recently, no Dempsey pulled the broadband because not enough people were signed up for it in rural areas. I had 38 people in Rosenellis on a sheet ready to sign up. And so had many others, but it wasn't delivered. And you know something? My sister-in-law, Louisa's sister, is a nun in Morocco, working with the nomadic tribes in the Atlas Mountains. And she has broadband. We asked her not to send us photographs, and she couldn't believe it because we couldn't download them. Meanwhile, she's going around the Atlas Mountains with her laptop in the back of a mule. And here we are, in the Celtic Tiger. Pussycat. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that Labour in government will and can deliver not just changes, but real changes for families, individuals and communities. It will create the conditions where families will be confident in their health services, where families will have access to the best in education, where families won't have to spend hours away from one another because the good jobs are somewhere else, where they won't have to sacrifice their future for the sake of the bricks and mortar of the present, and their children's future for the sake of our thirst for fossil fuels. Rinúsle, tá harfa buach as up vor frastal na cáte nocht, Tom Kinte will tídeling, will fact go make fastas morgan, agus go make boom morgan, agus go make tá rénio contact, agus Tommy con rénio corrivain, na haig winter on Tirmuntaksha. Labour in government will roll back the perception that public is bad and private is good. It will restore the balance that both are good, that both are needed, and both need each other to be good. It will restore our confidence in our ability as a people to own things together, to do things together, to build a fairer and a better society, a society we deserve, an Ireland we can be proud of. Go to Míle Maith.